Well, let's turn to what companies are doing here in the United States to deal with COVID-19. Google's parent company, Alphabet, is telling its North American staff to stay home. The company is recommending that employees not go into the office unless they have to. All of this in an effort to stem the spread of the virus. Dan Halley, of course, you cover the tech industry. And it seems as though not just Alphabet, but tech in general has been among the industries that's been most out ahead on telling people to stay home, perhaps because they have the flexibility to do so. If you work in tech, you can do your job at home.
Yeah, a lot of these companies are really saying, look, if you can do it, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google now, it really the list of the heavy hitters of tech basically saying to their employees, either don't come in, period, because you can't in Seattle, where they had those shutdowns, or if you can, just stay home and minimize the risk to yourselves. I think that's, you're onto that. The issue, though, is that these companies have the capability, not just the flexibility as far as their jobs go, but the capability and infrastructure to allow for people to work from home. And I'm doing a piece on how companies aren't prepared at all for something like this huge influx of people work from home. And I talked to some experts who said, look, we have to hold hands with some of our clients because they just don't know how to ensure that their employees can get online and not shut down, for instance, their own internal servers or their own internal VPNs by overworking them. So it's going to be a big issue for a lot of companies that aren't big tech.
Yeah, we just saw from Lenore Hawkins, who's over in Lake Como. I mean, literally have just shut everything down for 2 weeks. You've just made a case, because telling people to work from home, if the networks can't handle everybody working from home, is it so far-fetched to consider if you want to stop something as perhaps contagious as this, let's shut down for 2 weeks? I mean, Google's kind of signaling we're going to have them work from home, but we don't know how many of the networks are going to be able to handle it.
Well, Google will be fine, but I think if you, I mean, we just looked at what happened to those small businesses. If we did the same thing, I mean, could you imagine what would happen here in the U.S., a much larger country and a much larger economy, obviously? I think, something like that seems to me just
drastic.
So far.
Drastic.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, this does highlight the economic divide as well, which is something we internally have been chatting a lot about, is that if you're an hourly worker or if you're
you don't have those options.
Or if you're just a worker whose job cannot be done from home, then you have a problem in this environment. If you're a small business, I mean, this is really going to be
and this is the
deeply
reason
disruptive.
Why the magnifying glass is going to go on fiscal policy to address those types of industries where you can't just say, oh, well, just use your own private capital to create a work from home.
But a payroll tax holiday does not help if you're certain kinds of workers.
Exactly. So you do wonder to what degree, and there were some rumblings online just recently of Stephen Mnuchin speaking to reporters saying that he might fill with the idea of some dollar drop on small and medium enterprise workers. So I think maybe that could be a more targeted proposal, but we need to see.
We have seen in years past, look, they sent everyone a check during the financial crisis, the Bush administration. That was the first reaction. The other thing they're considering, not necessarily people working from home, is you can extend, the IRS can do it. They don't need congressional approval. You can extend when people have to file their taxes. You can push that date out far.
Yeah.
I mean, you can already do that online pretty easily and pretty cheaply compared to what you would need in person.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.